Hello dear friends, I am Violetta from Crafting with VioVio. This video tutorial is for one of these Christmas bubbles from my new collection, Christmas Jewels. Most of these bubbles are made in regular crochet technique. I use Twister Solid yarn from Hobbii.com for my bubbles and a 2mm hook. I don't know how much yarn goes for each bubble, I just know that I made more than 20 bubbles using only 2 skeins of yarn. You can use any other sport weight yarn or crochet thread number 3. I use plastic balls to fill my bubbles, they are 3 inches in diameter. You can also use styrofoam balls or you can use water balloons and stiffen your bubbles with starch or glue, but I don't have a tutorial for that. All the patterns are available in my Ravelry store, the link is below this video. The patterns come with written instructions, photo tutorials and video tutorials. And now, let's get started. We're going to start with a circle made with 6 chain stitches. So make a slip knot on your hook. Do not tighten it because you're going to use this stitch to join this circle. And then make 6 chain stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Now join this circle with a slip stitch into the first stitch, which was your slip knot. So join with the slip stitch, chain 1 and make 12 single crochets into this circle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and I'm going to work around this tail. 8, 9, 10, 11 and 12. Join with the slip stitch into the first single crochet at the beginning of this round. So the first round is done. Second round, we're going to start with a single crochet into the first stitch from the join. So we're going to start into this single crochet right here. So let's make a single crochet, then 21 chain stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. These stitches should not be too loose and not too tight, okay? Just reasonably tight. And then we're going to make a single crochet into the next stitch, which is right here. And we're going to repeat this 6 times. So single crochet into the next stitch, 21 chain stitches, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Single crochet into the next stitch. Single crochet into the next stitch, 21 chain stitches. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Single crochet into the next stitch, and like this 3 more times. And so I finished the last chain, so I'm going to make one more single crochet stitch into the next stitch, and then join with the slip stitch into the first single crochet at the beginning of this round. Now pull this yarn through the loop, cut the yarn, pull it out, and I'm going to use a thick needle to weave the end of this yarn right away, so I don't need to do it later. So weave it into the stitches in the back. Now cut the yarn, and second round is done. Round 3, we're going to start with a standing double crochet into the 5th chain, into any of the chains, okay, into the 5th stitch. So from the single crochet, we're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, and work into the 5th one, okay. And the standing double crochet, I'm going to start with a slip knot on the hook. So this is my stitch into which I'm going to work into, yarn over, block it, so it, you see, if you don't block it with your finger, you do yarn over and then you lose it. So do the yarn over and then block it with your finger like this, and work into the 5th chain stitch, make a double crochet like this. Okay, so this was the first stitch. Then second stitch is a double crochet, skip 1 and work into the second chain stitch. So yarn over, skip 1, work into the second chain stitch, make a double crochet stitch. Okay, next we're going to work a chain stitch, then we will skip 1 chain stitch and then work into the second, and we will make a double crochet. So chain 1, yarn over, skip 1 chain stitch, work into the second chain stitch, make a double crochet. Next, chain 1, and we're going to work into the second chain stitch from the last one, and we will make a double crochet, chain 3, and then a double crochet into the same stitch. Okay, so yarn over, skip 1, work into the second chain, make a double crochet, chain 3, and then a double crochet into the same stitch. Okay, and then we're going to chain 1, skip 1, and make a double crochet. So chain 1, skip 1 chain and work into the second, make a double crochet. Once again, chain 1, skip 1 and make a double crochet into the second chain. So I did the chain 1, skip 1, make a double crochet. Okay, so this is what we have. We have this part here, and now we're going to make a double crochet 2 together. It's right here. You see, one arm of this, or leg, I don't know how to say, one of these double crochets is sitting on this chain and the other is sitting on this chain into the 5th chain stitch right here. Okay, so we will start working this one first and then this one. So no more chains. Okay, right after this double crochet we're going to work this double crochet 2 together. So yarn over, skip 1 stitch, work into the second chain stitch, start making the first double crochet, pull through 2 loops. Now leave these 2 loops on the hook and work a double crochet. So start working a double crochet into the 5th chain stitch of this chain right here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I'm going to work right into this stitch here. Okay, right here. So yarn over, hook into the 5th chain stitch, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Now we have 3 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through 3 loops, and these 2 double crochets together is finished. Okay, so now let's continue working. Let's do it a couple of more times. We will start with a double crochet. So skip 1 stitch, work a double crochet into the next chain stitch, then chain 1, skip 1, make a double crochet into the second chain stitch, then chain 1, we will skip 1 and then work a double crochet, 3 chains and double crochet into the same stitch. So skip 1 stitch and work into the second, make a double crochet, 3 chain stitches, double crochet. Okay, then chain 1, skip 1 stitch, work a double crochet into the second chain stitch, then chain 1, skip 1, work a double crochet into the second chain stitch. Make sure you work into the correct stitch. And now double crochets 2 together, one of double crochets into this chain here and one into the 5th chain on the next chain arm. Okay, so double crochet into the second chain stitch on this chain, leave 2 loops on the hook. Now 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, work into the 5th chain stitch and finish these 2 double crochets together. Let's do it one more time. Double crochet into the second chain stitch from the last one, chain 1, skip 1, double crochet into the second chain stitch, chain 1, skip 1, double crochet into the second chain stitch, then chain 3, double crochet into the same chain stitch, then chain 1, skip 1, double crochet into the second chain stitch, chain 1, skip 1, double crochet into the second chain stitch, and then double crochets 2 together, skip 1, work into the second chain stitch from the last double crochet, make half double crochet, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, make the second double crochet into the 5th chain stitch of this chain and finish them together. Okay, and like this, please do 3 more times and I'll see you back in round number 4. I'm almost done with this round, so let me show you how we're going to finish it. So I'm doing the last chain 1, skip 1, double crochet, and now I'm going to start a double crochet, the last double crochet, 1, 2 into the second chain stitch, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, and now before finishing this double crochet I'm going to join it with the slip stitch into the first double crochet like this and make a chain stitch. Okay, so this is how we joined this round, and then I'm going to take a needle and weave in this yarn tail because I don't want to do it later. You can do it later if you want. So okay, weave it in to the stitches in the back of the stitches. Okay, perfect. Now cut it and we have a pretty round 3 like this. Round 4 is worked with the same yarn color A, and we will start with 5 single crochets, beginning with the first double crochet and then 1 single crochet into each double crochet or into each chain 1 space. So we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 single crochets. So let's start. Single crochet into the second double crochet. See, this was the first one, this is the second. Single crochet into the second double crochet at the beginning of the previous round, then single crochet into the chain space or around the chain space, then single crochet into the next double crochet, single crochet into the next chain space, and then single crochet into the next double crochet. Now we have 5 single crochets here. Here we're going to work 2 single crochets, chain 2, 2 single crochets into the same chain 3 space. So let's do it. 1 single crochet, 2 single crochet, chain 2, and then 2 more single crochets into the same chain 3 space. Okay, now from here we're going to work 11 single crochets all the way until this point. Starting with the first double crochet, make 11 single crochets. So 1, then into next chain space 2, then into the next double crochet 3, then in chain space 4, then in double crochet will be 5, into the double crochet together will be 6, 7, 8. Oops. 9, 10, and 11 single crochets. And here we're going to do the same. 2 single crochets, chain 2, 2 single crochets into the same chain space. So 2 singles, chain 2, 2 singles. From here, 11 single crochets, 1 in each space or double crochet. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Now 2 singles, chain 2, 2 singles into the same chain 3 space, and now 11 single crochets. And like this you need to work all the way around this round. And the last stitches, after the last peak, you will have 6 single crochets, and I'll show you how we're gonna close this round and join the alternate yarn. Now I have finished the 4th round, and I need to close it and join the alternate yarn, which is this red color. So I'm going to take the hook out of this loop and insert it into the first single crochet stitch at the beginning of this round from the back like this. Then I'm going to put the loop back onto the hook and pull it onto the back of this star, make a chain stitch. So now this round is joined, and I'm going to join the yarn color B. By pulling it through this loop, tighten the loop and make a chain stitch. Now you have the new yarn securely attached. And we will start working on round number 5. Round 5. So our yarn B has already been joined. We will start with a single crochet into the first single crochet of the previous round. It's this one. It's right into which you joined to close the last round. And all the stitches in this round will be worked into the back loops, including the chain stitches. We will work into the back loops of these chain stitches. So starting with the first single crochet, we're going to work 8 single crochet stitches, 1 into each of these stitches. And also I'm going to work over this yarn tail because I want to enclose it into these stitches. So 8 single crochets, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and the 8th single crochet is worked into the first chain stitch of this group of 2 chain stitches. So chain stitch, then chain 2 and work 8 single crochets, starting with this first chain stitch, which is the second chain stitch of this group. Okay, so we'll start with it into the chain stitch, and then 7 more single crochets into the back loops of the single crochets below. So I have 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Now I'm going to skip 1 stitch and work 8 single crochets. We're skipping this single crochet that is sitting on top of these double crochets 2 together. So skip this stitch, work 8 single crochets, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The 8th single crochet is worked into the back loop of the first chain stitch, then chain 2, and work 8 single crochets, starting with this chain stitch, with the second chain stitch of this group of 2 chain stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So this is the second repeat. Skip 1 stitch, 8 single crochets, and like this you need to repeat this pattern 6 times in total. And I'm going to finish this round, and then I'm going to show you how to close it. I finished the last repeat, and to close this round, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, okay, and to close this round, I'm going to take the hook out of this loop, insert it into the back of the first single crochet, put the loop back onto the hook, pull it onto the back, and make a chain stitch. Then I'm going to grab yarn color A and pull it through this loop, pull this loop to tighten it, and then make a chain stitch. And now I'm ready to start working with yarn color A. And now let's start working on round number 6. We're going to join yarn A with a standing puff stitch. The puff stitch, the first puff stitch, this is the round of puff stitches. The first puff stitch will be worked into the third single crochet stitch of the previous round, which is this one here. And we will pull the yarn 3 times out of the loop, okay? So yarn over, insert the hook into the back loop, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull up 1 more loop, yarn over, pull up 1 more loop, then yarn over, pull through all the loops on the hook and leave only 2, and then yarn over and finish your puff stitch. Close it, okay? Then chain 1, skip 1 stitch, and make a puff stitch into the second single crochet from this standing puff stitch, okay? So 1, pulling out loops 1, 2, 3, yarn over, pull through all the loops, just leave these 2 loops on the hook, and then yarn over and finish your puff stitch. Then let's do it again. Chain, skip 1, puff stitch, 1, 2, 3, close your puff stitch, chain 1, skip 1, puff stitch into the back loop of the first chain stitch, 1, 2, 3, close your puff stitch. Now let's make 4 chain stitches, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then puff stitch into the second back loop, into the second chain stitch of this group of 2 chain stitches. So puff stitch into this stitch, 1, 2, and 3, close your puff stitch, chain 1, skip 1, puff stitch into the second single crochet, chain 1, skip 1, puff stitch, chain 1, skip 1, puff stitch. So this is the repeat for this round. After the last repeat, please skip 4 stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4, and work into the 5th stitch and make a puff stitch into that stitch, 1, 2, and 3. Then skip 1, chain 1, skip 1, make a puff stitch, chain 1, skip 1, make a puff stitch, chain 1, skip 1, puff stitch into the first chain stitch, then chain 4, puff stitch into the second chain stitch, chain 1, skip 1, puff stitch, chain 1, skip 1, puff stitch, chain 1, skip 1, puff stitch, The second repeat is done. To start the next repeat, you're going to skip 4 single crochets, 1, 2, 3, 4, and work into the 5th, and continue working puff stitches like this all the way around this round, and you're going to join with a slip stitch into the first puff stitch, into the top of the first puff stitch. Actually, we're going to join with an invisible stitch because join stitch, because we're going to join yarn color B. Okay, well, I'm going to show you how we're going to do that. So 6th round is done, and I'm going to close it with the invisible slip stitch. So insert the hook into the back of the first puff stitch, put the loop onto the hook, and pull it onto the back of your project. Oh, lost it. Let's do it again. So put the loop onto the hook, pull it onto the back of the project, and make a chain stitch. Okay, so now this round is closed, and join yarn color A. Make a chain stitch, and we are ready to start working on this round. In this round, all the stitches will be worked into the back loops of the stitches below, and the first stitch we will work into will be this chain stitch. Okay, so, and I'm also going to work over this yarn tail because I don't want to weave it in further. Okay, so we're going to make 8 single crochet stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and the 7th and 8th stitch are worked into these 2 chain stitches into the back loops. 7 and 8. Then chain 2, and then 8 single crochets, starting with these 2 chain stitches. 1 into the back loop of these chain stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. This is the repeat. We're going to skip 2 stitches and continue the same thing. 8 single crochets, chain 2, 8 single crochets. So skipping 2 stitches, then 8 single crochets. 1. Did I skip 2 stitches? Let me check. Yes, the first stitch is made into the chain stitch. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Then chain 2, 8 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Then you're gonna skip 2 stitches and work 8 single crochets, and like this all the way around this round. And now we're going to start working on round 8. The first stitch is worked into the 4th single crochet from the beginning of the previous round. And the first stitch will be a single crochet, and it will be worked into the back loop of this 4th single crochet, okay, on this stitch. So let us start with a slip stitch, then single crochet into the same stitch, and then 5 more single crochets into the next 5 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 stitches in total. Then work 2 chain stitches, and then 6 single crochets. So the first of these 6 will go into this chain stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Then chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Skip 5 stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and work into this 6th stitch. No, skip 6. Then skip 6 stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and work into the 7th, and work 6 single crochets. 1 is done, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Then chain 2, 6 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Skip 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then work 6 single crochets. And like this all the way around this round until the last chain of 5, and I'm going to show you how we close it and how we work round number 9. Round 8 is done. I'm going to join this round, to close this round, with a slip stitch into the first single crochet. Here you can either cut the yarn and then join into this chain 2 space, or you can slip stitch till that space. I'm going to slip stitch. It's almost invisible, so it will be fine. So I'm slip stitching until the last single crochet, and then work a single crochet into this chain 2 space. Then here we're going to make a single crochet into this chain space, then chain 1, and then work double crochets into this chain 5 space, double crochet, chain 1 5 times. So double crochet, chain 1, make these double crochets quite long, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, this is 3, double crochet, chain 1, this is 4, double crochet, chain 1, chain 1, chain 1, did I say chain 1? Chain 1, and then single crochet into the chain 2 space, chain 1, and then double crochet, chain 1 5 times into the next 5 chain 5 space. So double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain, to not say wine, right? Then double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, single crochet into the next chain 2 space, then chain 1, and continue working double crochet, chain 1 5 times into the next chain 5 space, and like this all the way until the end of the round. Join with the slip stitch into the first single crochet into this one. Okay, so please finish this round, and I'll see you back in round number 10. So I have finished round number 9. I joined it with a slip stitch into the first single crochet. Now I'm going to make one more chain stitch and cut the yarn. Okay, you see we have already created something like a purse. It's ready to go over a bubble. Okay, so now we're going to make the last round. The last round is this one, and we will start with a chain from here. Then we're going to work around this last round, and then we're going to close it right here. Okay, so let me show you. Let's start with a slip knot on the hook, then make 7 chain stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Then you can work into any of these clusters of double crochets. You need to work into the third double crochet, 1, 2, 3, right here, for example, into both loops of these stitches. So single crochet into the third double crochet. Then work 12 single crochets, so one in each space or stitch, all the way until this third double crochet of the next cluster. So we have one single crochet. Then let's continue. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and then the 12 single crochet goes into this third double crochet. Then chain 15, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and then a single crochet into the same stitch, okay, into the same double crochet. Then again 11 single crochets, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and the 12th one goes into the double crochet, the third double crochet, then chain 15, and then a single crochet into the same double crochet. Okay, and continue like this all the way until here. Okay, and then I'll show you what to do next. And now we're going to close it with a slip stitch into the first chain stitch, like this. Now it's time to use a plastic ball to fill our bubble. For this one I used a red ball, and for this one I'm going to use a transparent plastic ball, and we'll see how different this design looks on these two different backgrounds. So insert the ball into your bubble like this, and we'll start connecting these loops together. So first let us make a single crochet into the same loop right here, loop of these chains, like this, single crochet, then chain stitch, single crochet into the next chain 15 space, then then chain 1, single crochet into the next chain space, chain 1, single crochet into the next chain space. Feels a little tight, but it's fine. For this bubble it's fine if it's really a little bit tight, so the design is what will be stretched on the ball. Then single crochet into the next, it's not the most comfortable thing to do, but you'll see the result will be worth it. Then chain 1 and the last single crochet, single crochet, the last chain stitch. And to close this circle, I'm going to cut the yarn and use the needle, because it's really not comfortable to do it with a hook. So I'm going to use the needle like this. Actually, first I need to pull this yarn tail out of this stitch and then insert the yarn tail into the needle. I need to get a threader because it's really not comfortable. Oops. Okay, so now I'm going to insert the needle into this first single crochet stitch like this. You see it? And then back into the into the chain stitch and the single crochet from where this yarn comes from, like this. Then tighten, and then continue weaving it a little bit back and forth to reinforce and to make sure that it doesn't unravel, like this. And we want to make it as invisible as possible, because this part is very delicate and we want it to be pretty, like this. Okay, now I'm going to cut this yarn, and there is one more yarn tail that needs to be woven in. I let it a little bit too short, but I'll try to manage. I'm gonna insert the needle first into the stitches and then put the thread into the needle. This way it will be easier. Just please remember, don't leave yarn tails so short, so you don't need to do that. Okay, this will be okay. Now I'm gonna cut this yarn, and ta-da! The second bubble is done. I mean, the second is this one was the first and this one is the second. So now please let me know, which one do you like more? Which one do you prefer? This light and airy, or this more like it looks heavier and more, I don't know, rich color, I guess. Please let me know which one do you like. And also, if you like this video tutorial, please give it a like. Please share it. Please share your pictures in our Facebook group and also on Instagram. Please tag my name on Instagram so I can see what you've created. Please subscribe to this channel and to my group on Facebook. And happy crocheting!